Right, we're live now.
Let's just double check.
Saying that we're live. Hi.
Hello.
I'm hoping that we are live. I think there's a slight delay of about 10-15 seconds.
The live stream is starting soon, according to the link.
Well, this is saying that I am. This is saying that we are live.
I think we're in.
Okay.
Excellent. Right.
So we seem to be live. Brilliant. So maybe after this few technical issues, we'll get started. If someone can just confirm on the comments that they can actually hear us and that we are talking.
I'm looking in your direction, Alex.
Yeah, Alex, please. Yeah.
Yay, we're on.
Thank
Fantastic.
You.
James is in the house. Who else is around? If you're around, if you're watching live,
say
can
hi.
you drop a comment, say hi, emoji us, snap us.
Whew, I was getting a bit nervous then. Okay, so what we're going to go through in this session?
Well, very similar to the first session, we're going to go through the assignment again briefly, and we're going to just really highlight how the work that you guys have done so far to date has kind of added to the assignment.
The kind of contribution that the stuff that you've been doing in your seminars is going to make to your assignment as well. I think also we really like to be driven by any questions that you've got. So keep those coming on the comments, and we'll try and keep an eye on those as we're going through and try and answer them as we're going along.
And the hashtag as well.
Yeah.
Which is #DMMP 1617.
Yeah. Okay, great. Right, let's get started. So I think what we'll do is we'll start by kind of going from the top really and giving you a bit of an overview on the assignment. So I'm pretty sure that you all know that the deadline is 23:55 on Wednesday the 14th of December, so that's a week tomorrow. You will submit online via Moodle. We're going to have a little bit of a chat about how you submit and show you exactly how to do that on Moodle as well, so hopefully that will make you a lot less confused. Remember, this assignment is 40% of your overall mark, and you need to get 40% in order to pass the module. Okay.
What happens if somebody submits late?
You get 0, I'm afraid.
We'll talk about that a bit as well. So
yeah.
Do not.
Do not
submit about submitting late. You'll get big fat 0.
And just remember, because it's an electronic submission, it does timestamp your exact submission, so it will be flagged up if you're even a second late as well. Okay, so I'm not going to go through kind of all the context, but essentially you should now all be in an assignment group. You should have created your digital agency. You should have created a blog space for that digital agency on either Blogger or WordPress. And you should already have some blog posts up there from your tutorial. And basically you are pretending to be an agency, digital agency. Okay? How's this different to industry blogs?
Okay, so industry blogs, what we mean by that is agencies who will be, say, just around the corner from the business school. They will have their own blogs where they'll talk about new stuff that's happening in industry, or new things that are coming out, or things that are happening in the news. Now, they're writing with a specific purpose, that they want to show that they're cool, they're edgy, they're on top of things, they understand the industry, and therefore, if you're a client coming to them with loads of money, these guys look like they know their stuff, okay? So you're reflecting that, but the difference is we want you guys to be almost a little bit critical in the way that you reflect, because this is a degree, this is a university, and we're actually urging you guys in the assignments to reflect upon the disadvantages of some of these channels, some of the problems that might happen when you use social media, some of the problems that happen with search engines. Now, the difference is, the key difference is, industry agencies will never ever talk about the bad stuff.
No.
Because the clients won't give them any money. No. For you guys, this is the big difference. You guys can say, look, here's what search engine marketing is, here's some of the techniques, this is why it's really good, this is some of the problems that are associated with it, and therefore that's why you think a search engine marketing is the best platform out there. Yeah, an agency will never tell a client about the bad stuff.
Yes. So if you've been looking at some examples of digital agency blogs, which you should have been, just be very aware of what Brendan said, in that they will be very, very positive and they won't be critical. Whereas we are looking for you to be critical, particularly in your appraisal post.
Very good.
Okay.
What's the aim of this assignment?
Aim of this assignment is to consider the relationship between digital communications and business strategy. So we're looking, really, essentially what we're looking for from you is for you to demonstrate that you understand the digital platform that you've chosen, and to demonstrate your knowledge and your research and your wider reading across this kind of term, really.
Very good.
So we've got 4 individual tasks for the assignment. Do you want to talk about each of those individual tasks? Just a really brief overview of what those tasks are.
I'll take the first one, but I suppose before we do any of the tasks, please remember that overall we need to see consistent use of evidence, consistent use of references, whether that's the core text, anything in the reading list, or the journal articles or the market reports that you found online. You have to be using that all the time. We've even specified in the grading criteria, if you want to get a first, there should be loads of references in your writing and maybe within your video if you can. But think about how to do that. You might want to be clever about that. Yeah. But if there's lots of evidence, and if we see that when we're marking this, then that will definitely move you towards that higher end in terms of your grade.
I think last year when we were marking them, there was a lack of referencing.
Yeah,
I think that was one of the main weaknesses.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're looking for, particularly in your written work, is that you are evidencing and supporting your work.
How nice are we with telling dumb students how to get a first? You don't get that normally. Anyway. Right, so
good value.
exactly, yeah. And live streaming videos. Yeah. Wow, what more do you want? Okay, so blog.
It's actually work.
Hey, we got there again.
Yeah, we did.
4 things you need to do. So number 1 is blog post number 1 is your appraisal of the digital platform. So the 5 platforms that we covered: blogging or blog platform, email, search, mobile, social media. That was it. Sorry, yeah, it was all 5. So you pick one of those. I don't know, Snapchat. So pick one of those platforms. Darks. No. Pick one of those and then you perform your appraisal. Okay, that appraisal should be no more than 1,500 words, so 1,500 words. Okay, so that should be the beginning, the first word, and the last word.
I think I actually had a question for one of the students in my group actually, whereby they'd seen something where it said 1,000 words. But I just want to be clear, this year we're looking for 1,500 words.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
So the structure of blog post number 1, the first thing you have to do, there is 6 specific categories you need to address, or 6 specific things that you need to write this blog post about. Number 1, provide a definition of the digital platform. Now, that's not just saying what the platform is, but it's how that may be used in terms of marketing. So email marketing is provide a definition. Okay. Number 2, an explanation of the techniques associated with that digital platform. Tell us about how people do stuff. Tell us about what did we tell you in the lectures about how search engine marketing happens or how email marketing happens. Yeah, so it's very much the technique. So have a look back in the lecture slides. You'll be able to pluck out a couple of examples, but importantly you'll be able to find some references which we've given you, which will give better suggestions on best practice. Okay, so tell us about what these platforms can do.
Please avoid referencing lecture slides.
Don't.
Mr. Keegan here is not a valid reference. Sorry.
Well,
unless, of course, you found his journal article.
No. Yeah, don't reference slides at all. We provide references at the end of our slides.
Yeah.
Use those.
Yeah.
Okay, or use anything. In fact, I'd be quite surprised if any assignments came in this year and they hadn't used at least one, if not all, of the reading list that we provided.
Yes, me too.
If you do that, you definitely won't get a first. If you do that. Okay. So number 2, explanation of the techniques. Number 3, justification for the use of that platform. Now the difference with that is that you're justifying for a client. Remember, you're pretending to be an agency. This is some of the great things that platform can do. So if that's social media, have a think about the conversation that you can have. If that's search engine marketing, think about the number of people you can reach, etc., etc. You're providing some great reasons for why a client should invest some money in you as an agency on that platform. Number 4, Provide a critique. This is where you talk about some of the disadvantages, some of the issues, some of the problems associated with that platform. That is the big difference between industry blogs and you guys, okay? Because this is an academic assignment, you're being critical. Number 5, provide an example of how this platform is used in a recent campaign. Dead easy to find that. You'll find loads of online magazines or digital awards that are run every year, and they'll say, here's a great example of mobile being used by a certain brand. Explain what that is, and then describe why you think it's really good.
Yeah, I think e-consultancy tend to pick out some of the brands as well that are doing really
I was looking at the
stuff on digital.
last lecture. I was looking at the Drum. The Drum did awards, end of year digital awards.
Yeah,
they had at least
really good
hundreds of them, so shouldn't be any problem there.
No.
But what we want you to do is to describe and explain why that was a good campaign. Okay.
But I also don't want to see any of the examples that we've provided you with in the lectures. We wrote those lectures, we know what they are.
And then finally, summarize your appraisal, reminding the client why they should invest in this digital platform. So have a little summary statement at the bottom. Say, in summary, this is the best platform for you to invest in because of these following reasons that you've discussed already. Okay.
So a nice little conclusion summary to kind of round off your blog post.
Yeah. How many marks are you going to get for that?
I don't know. It's with 50% of their overall mark.
You wrote this.
Okay.
Yes, 50% of blog post number 1. That suggests that 50% of your efforts should go towards that blog post. So half of the time and energy that you'll put into this assignment goes towards that. It also means half the marks. So make sure it looks good. Make sure you do it right. Because,
Written style. What should their written style be like?
If you read any of these industry blogs, they'll talk about, look, this is what's happening in the industry. We here at X agency think this is really cool. We think this is valuable. We think this is useful. We think this is useful for a certain industry. So adopt a kind of a formal tone like that, but don't use I. Okay? You might be talking about you guys as an agency. If you branded yourself, if you give yourself a brand name, just refer to yourself as that brand.
Yeah. And you must use academic references.
Yep.
I don't think we've said that before, have we?
References equal high marks.
They do, yeah.
They do.
Good references.
Good references, yeah. Not
Appropriate use
not
of
Uncle Joe's
referencing.
blog by Uncle Joe who writes blogs in his
credible
underpants.
referencing. Not Wikipedia or the Daily Mail or any of the red tops. No. Okay, so that's your first blog post, and that's where you're going to choose the digital platform that your assignment will be focused on. We've got some comments, have we?
Some people having a chat with each other.
Okay, great.
Nothing really standing out.
Just have a chat with each other.
Let's see what the Twitter says. Twitter says nothing. Twitter says no.
No, Twitter.
Okay. Remember to tweet in with any requests.
Any songs you'd like
any
to
songs
hear?
you'd like to hear before the end of the hour. And
you can do the singing.
no. Okay.
Okay, so
next part of the assignment.
So the next part of the assignment is then, for that platform that you've chosen, we want you to come up with a creative campaign idea. So for example, if you've chosen email as the platform that you've appraised, then you need to come up with a creative use of email. But we've given you a number of clients to work on. So you can either choose Pizza Hut, BMW's i3 electric car, Secret Garden Party, Rare London, Bulldog Skincare, or Tom's Shoes. So you must pick one of those clients. You must then use the platform that you've written your appraisal on, and you must come up with a creative campaign idea. So we're looking for something that is a little bit different from the norm as well. So for example, I would prefer not to see any email campaigns that are about offers and promotions.
Okay.
Because I think that's been done to death. So think about, top marks will go to people that have been a little bit more creative. So, for example, you might want to look at some of the trends in email or trends in mobile and have a look. Okay, we've got some questions.
We do have a question. Is it all third person? So I think the question which has come in from Libby is the overall assignment, does it all have to be within third person?
Yes.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, I think so. Because if you think about it, you guys, we go back to the context is you guys are pretending to be an agency. So therefore you're communicating. And remember, this is a communications module, essentially, digital marketing communications. The challenge for you guys is you need to communicate as that persona, as that group, as that agency. So
Yeah.
yeah, it should be agency X or the agency.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But you must support your work with referencing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so carrying on with the blog.
Who's going to do Pizza Hut?
And I think quite a lot of people do Pizza Hut. My Friday at 4 till 6 always do it. It makes you really hungry.
Who's going to do Secret Garden Party?
I think people have chosen that actually. It'd be quite interesting. I'm quite surprised that not many people so far seem to, in my groups anyway, seem to have chosen the BMW, and I think that's quite an interesting client. Anyway, so what should your video include? So your creative campaign idea must be communicated via the medium a video. So your video must be no longer than 2 minutes, and I'm going to be very, very strict. I will be stopping any video content that I see that goes above 2 minutes. But basically you need to include 4 things. So you must include an outline of who the client is. So it must be really clear who the client is. You need a clarification of the digital platform. So it must be really clear which digital platform you are using and that this campaign is for. I'd like you to think about one objective and keep it really simple that you hope that your campaign would achieve. So what are suitable campaign objectives, do you think?
Typically, you might want to look to increase sales of that product or a certain range or a certain line. So with Pizza Hut, I don't know, they might have like a new healthy pizza with something else in there, or gluten-free, organic, something like that. But it may be your campaign is to target a specific group of consumers who may be health conscious, and you want to target those and to increase the number of sales of this type of pizza within that group of people. So 1 could be increase sales. 2 could be to raise awareness. So you want to raise awareness within a certain group of people. Let's say if you're a BMW electric car, you want more people to become aware of that through the platform that you've chosen to adopt.
Think also that some marketing objectives might be about driving footfall,
Mm-hmm.
might be driving visitors to a website, something like that. Okay, so think about one objective that you hope that your campaign will achieve. Keep it really simple. I then want you to provide details of the creative campaign ideas. And again, we're really looking for kind of clarity on what your ideas are. There are a number of examples from last year that are some of the top examples that got some of the top marks. So we're looking at 70s plus here for those examples that I've put online.
So
do you want to? Yeah, basically, we want better than that. that's the benchmark.
Yeah.
I've totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, that was it. You will notice from those videos that they were all presented in completely different ways. There is no kind of right way of presenting it. Think about what your idea is. Think about what suits your idea. Do you want all the people in your group in the video? Do you want nobody within the video? Do you want to do an animation? Do you want to do some kind of PowerPoint presentation that's just got a voiceover on? You know, those examples show different ways of doing it. So I'm looking for really different ways of doing it. There's no kind of this is the right way to present it, or this is the right format to use.
That's good. You've got loads of opportunities, you've got loads of options, but again, the creativity, that's the main thing that we're looking for. That will make you stand out from the rest.
Yeah, you know, remember this is a pitch. So Tanya talked to you last week about pitches. They need to be enthusiastic. You need to really sell your idea to the client. We also looked at a number of different programs that you could use in order to put this video together in the first couple of weeks. So you might want to revisit those. All the work from the tutorials, remember, is on your forums. So have a look on the different forums. You might want to revisit some of those.
Okay. And be careful with what tunes you put on your video. Because sometimes if it's not copyright friendly, YouTube might take it down, and therefore you've lost your assignment, and we've got nothing to mark.
I think if you make sure within the description that you acknowledge copyright, then you should be okay. So just make sure you do that.
Okay. Right. So the visual impact. Yeah. Nice.
I think I've kind of
agreed to that. Cover that. So
just make sure that your student names and the student IDs are somewhere within the video, so maybe at the start or at the end, so it's really clear who was involved in the creation of that video. Okay.
Seems like there's 3 people in the room. Libby, Alex, and but we've got a question for Libby. If we're using a certain video creation software, do we need to reference it? No, that should be absolutely fine. A lot of the video editing software, they tend to leave a little logo down in the
especially if you're using the free version.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely fine.
A lot of the
you just need to reference the evidence.
Yes. A lot of the tools we looked at are paid for tools, but they all offer a free trial for either 14 days or 30 days. My recommendation is that you use that free trial.
Okay. Number 3.
Yeah. So what have they got to do for blog post number 3?
Right. Blog post number 3 is essentially the written justification for the visual blog post that you've done. So blog post number 1, you've given us the academic bit, the writing about the digital platform. Blog post number 2 is the great campaign idea that you've got. Blog post number 3 is about justifying how you came up with that idea. How did you come up with that creative idea? What evidence out there inspired you to come up with that idea? Was it another campaign? Was it something you read online? Was it something that you read in textbook? Was it some specific thing that happens within the platform that you've chosen? So let's say if you chose social media, is there something that's happening within social media that you think might be used by that brand? So you might say that Pizza Hut is not currently using a specific social media account or a meme or something like that. Yeah, so you tell us about how you came up with that idea. Now don't worry if the idea just came out of your head and you had a creative brainstorm and you had this great campaign idea. You need to provide some written justification for the reasons why you're going to suggest that.
So you might want to think along the lines of why your campaign idea suits the particular digital platform and provide some academic referencing. So this is really your chance to find some academic kind of support to your ideas.
Yeah, very good. Again, reading list, very good. E-consultancy, Smart Insights, any of the references that we've given you so far, there's probably going to be a couple of articles on there where they'll talk about, I don't know, the use of memes or the increased use of memes by brands, etc., etc. And then you use that as a reference, and then you justify, you discuss. All right.
Okay. What needs to be included within that post?
What needs to be included within that post? Well, let me just check my notes.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see you're reading the assignment brief.
I am reading the assignment brief, all 26
I
pages
suggest
of
all of you lot do.
You will want to consider, but are not limited to, number 1, briefly outline the client and the digital platform. So at the beginning of blog post 3, remind us again, who's the client that you've chosen out of those 6 companies, and what digital platform are you proposing in this assignment? Because sometimes we may, if it's unclear, we might be a bit unclear on what you're talking about. Number 2, you need to be clear on why the choice of that digital platform suits the client. So if you're talking about Pizza Hut, you might want to say that social media might be a really good channel to use. Why does it suit Pizza Hut? Is it the type of brand that might be able to use it or not? Number 3, you need to talk about why your creative ideas were suitable for that digital platform. Okay? So some platforms are more susceptible to creative ideas than others. So specifically, search engine marketing isn't really...
Oh, I would love to see somebody do search.
That's a hard one to do.
Go on.
Yep, that'll be different, yeah. But if you can say you're going to use a creative campaign using search engine...
Interesting content marketing.
There you go,
You could use for a search campaign.
So, blog post 3 is very much...
gauntlet.
Lay it down, drop the mic. But that's very much about you justifying the platform and why it's appropriate for this campaign. Okay? And then finally, the last bit that we want to see in blog post 3, what response do you expect to see from the target group? So what do you want the consumers to do, the customers to do? Do you want them to click on something? Do you want them to sign up to something? Do you want them to buy something? Do you want them to ring a number and get in touch? Do you want them just to tweet? What is it? What do you expect them to
share? Do they need to do something? Do they need to click? What response are you expecting to your campaign?
Good.
Yeah.
And that is blog post 3.
Right. Which brings us nicely onto blog post 4, which is worth 5% of your marks, and is basically, we want a blog post that lists all the sources that you've used. So it's basically your kind of bibliography or list of references to Harvard style. So it should be a list of all your academically credible sources that you've used to compile blog posts 1 and 3.
Okay.
We'd also like some links to the campaign examples that you've provided as well within blog post 1. And like we say, it needs to be to the Harvard format. What can they do if they're struggling?
If you're struggling with referencing, well, you guys should know it by now because you've done POM. But if you did POM and you probably didn't get your referencing right, just use the MMU library website. There's a Harvard referencing page on there, and that will give you examples of what your referencing should look like.
Yeah.
You have to get your head around this because you'll be using it in every module for the rest of your degree. So you may as well get it right now. And we're giving 5 marks, special offer.
And actually, it's quite an easy way of getting 5 marks.
Quite an easy way of getting 5 marks. Yeah.
I must, I'll hold my hand up sometimes when I'm writing stuff. I still need to refer back just to check what is the absolute correct style. Where should that full stop or comma?
Yes, you've got an online.
So make sure you use that.
Okay.
What else have we got out there to help them?
Well, there's some very helpful and useful grading criteria. So we've got the assignment marking criteria, which is at the very bottom of the assignment brief.
Yeah.
And on there, you'll see a nice table like this, extreme close-up. And what you will get in there is descriptions of what we're expecting for a 2-1, a 2-2, a first, a third, etc., etc. So you might want to be kind of clever and deconstruct some of the words that are on there and tick whether you've done them to that level. So have you provided an excellent, creative, and critical example of a digital platform appraisal? Have you done that? Is it exceptional? Is it creative? Is it critical? Have you done that? If you have, then you're probably on track to get those kind of marks. So make sure you use the grading criteria to tick through what you've done, and then be realistic on, look, we probably haven't done this very well, therefore you might need to put a bit more evidence in there, and that might help.
It might be worth, if you're kind of taking responsibility for a particular blog post, getting a person within your group to kind of critique what's been written and compare it to the grading criteria. Think about, if you were marking this, what mark would you give that piece of work? For example, do you think it's met all the criteria? No specific marks, which should help you
be harsh on
move
yourself.
away. Yeah.
Okay, grading criteria, and then that's all the rest of the blog post. What next?
Yeah, so submission. Right, I'm going to try and show you exactly how to submit on this live broadcast. You might need to bear with me in case this goes slightly wrong. Okay, so it's an electronic submission. Okay, so you won't submit any hard copies. It all needs to be submitted electronically via Moodle. So what I'm going to try and do now is if I...
Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3.
I think we need to wait for the streaming to catch up. Hold on, there we go. Do we have audio?
No.
No.
Hello.
Do we have audio?
Yes, we do.
Yay, we're
excellent.
Back. Oh,
it works.
There might be a few slight technical things. Right, so as you can see here where my mouse is hovering, this is where you will make your submission. So it says dump assignment 1 submission. Great, I'm glad you can all hear. Thank you. So if we click on here, you'll click on here, yours will look completely different to this because you won't have any grading summary, and there will be a button that you click which says to upload or submit. Now, one person from each group needs to submit there. For your submission though, what I would like you to do is, I would like you to turn each of your blog posts into a PDF. So can you see here on Moodle, I've provided you with a web to PDF converter. If you click on that, it then takes you to this web page. If you paste into here the URL of your blog post, hit convert to PDF, it will literally convert that to a PDF. So let me do this with this Moodle page. So I'm going to copy the URL, I'm going to paste it into here and click convert to PDF. Can you see this is now creating my PDF? Do not close it until your PDF is ready. Okay, now I've got PDF successfully created. Click to download, and here we go. I've created a lovely little PDF of Moodle, which is just the login.
This is what happens with a live demo.
Okay, but you get my point. Okay, so that's dead easy to use. So make sure you do that for each of your blog posts. So you will then have 4 PDFs. You'll click on here. One person from your group will upload those 4 PDFs to here. You also need to provide details of the names of everybody within your group, the student numbers, and also a link to the home page of your blog. Don't worry, sometimes the PDF converter will throw off all the formatting. That really doesn't matter. As long as you provide a link to your blogs, we can find them. Okay. Shall we go back to a close-up on us? Hi, we're back. Okay, so that's how you submit. Should be pretty straightforward. Okay.
Alex has a question for us.
Okay.
Should we create a folder for all 4 parts? I think he means the 4 PDFs.
No, just upload each one separately. That submission box will allow you to upload 4 documents. Okay.
Very good.
Actually, while we're talking about submission, I want to do a little bit of admin actually. So I'm just going to go back to a screenshot. Better make sure the sound is on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Just so we don't lose each other again. So, can you remember a few weeks ago I asked for all the names and details of everybody within your group. I'll move this link to the top of Moodle. But basically, I asked you to provide all your details on a spreadsheet. Can you please make sure these details are up to date? Because this is what I'm going to use in order to create my marking sheets. For instance, I don't know who 160500126 is. Can they fill in their name, please? There are also, I don't know why Joe's in yellow. You've butchered my spreadsheet, basically. But there were a few down here. So Miles, they've got no student number and no group. Again, Oscar and Sam, I've got no group for you. Georgia, there's no student number and no group. So can you please make sure you fill this in and this is correct for me? Like I say, I'll move the link up to the top of Moodle. Okay. Let's get me a new pack. Hoping this is working quite well.
Very good. Yep.
Okay, so that's submission. Do we have any more questions from anybody? If you do, get them in, because we're going to finish in
We only
about
have
5 minutes.
3 active viewers, so
No, we don't. 8.
Amy, James,
Oh,
Alex,
active viewers. Okay. Oh, more.
Libby. That's it. They're the only people
Thank
asking
you.
questions.
Well, thank you for interacting
And
with us.
7
We do
people are
appreciate
watching right now. Wow, Christmas is
Well,
really
do you know
around the
what?
corners.
In terms of support, this week there are loads and loads of appointments with all your seminar tutors. I would recommend that you book with the person who normally takes your seminar, because they will have seen you and will have given you feedback. So again, if I just click over to this, if we scroll down to this week, you'll see there is a little scheduler here. Click on that, and it gives you details of all the available appointments and the times that they are. There are 2 pages of, so click on to the next page, and there are lots more appointments there too. So please make sure you take advantage of that and come and have a chat with us. It is the only opportunity that you will have to come and actually show us any of your work and for us to have a look at any of your work. Yeah.
Okay.
How should they prepare for those one-to-one meetings?
Depends really. You could bring a draft of the assignment on your laptop, or you could have a printed out version of it perhaps. Bring that down, put it on the table, and you discuss with the tutor. Just give us some indication of kind of where we can improve, where we can make that better. But you should be continually asking that question: how can I make it better? How can I improve this?
Yeah.
And then if you're asking that question, then your tutor will be able to make suggestions for you, or maybe point out things that are a bit weaker, or could be done better, or could be phrased better. We've got a very good question, I think.
Fabulous.
James has asked, is there a place to find academic journals that are free or accessible with our student IDs?
The MMU Library.
MMU Library, you go to the MMU Library site.
Yep. Shall we do this for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do a little demo.
Alright, because we're going to give you
We're getting the hang of this now, aren't we?
So, MMU Library. Okay.
Homepage of the library.
Excellent. What we're going to look for is databases. See that databases?
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Databases A to Z or A to Z, depending on whether you're. Yeah, there.
Okay.
And the first one that I recommend, and this is a great tip for everyone, go to B, and we're going to look for Business Source Premier. There we go. So click on the Business Source Premier, you enter in your student details in there. Now Dee is going to show us her password now, so we can spam all of her emails and sign up for it.
Let's see if she can remember. Oh God, I can't remember what it is now.
That's a long password. Okay, so when you log into Business Source Premier, you'll get this page, and this is essentially like a search engine for academic journals. So if you put in something like social media and marketing, then what that will do is that will search a lot of these databases and journals for you. Now, if you put social media marketing into Google, you'll get a lot of crap. You'll get a lot of rubbish blogs, which we don't really want to see. But this database will give you some really good results, and will give you some really good sources. So if we click search, and then we'll see the first, the second, maybe not the third, but the fourth and the fifth. These are all journal articles, and you can see just along the second line here, you can see the description underneath the link. Yeah, that's Journal of Marketing Management. So that's a very good paper, and that would be fantastic if people could start to use some of that stuff in your assignment. Very good.
Is my demo over?
Yeah, I think so. Right, back into the room. We're back in the room. Amy says, Charlie, Sadie, and Beth are watching with me. Hello to you all.
Hi, Charlie, Sadie, and Beth.
William has joined the party.
Hi, William. Right, so hopefully that's helped you with journal articles.
Very good. So submission, that's where we were up to the last time. So the guys will submit. When are they going to submit?
By 23:55 on Wednesday, the 14th of December, which is a week tomorrow.
What will happen at 23:59?
There will be anything that's submitted then comes in and it has a big red mark next to it, and you will get we don't want any of those. No.
Don't ruin Christmas for yourself.
Or us.
Or us.
I don't like it when some of them don't.
What's one of my favourite expressions? Remember, done is better than perfect. Just get it done and get it in, and don't worry about making it absolutely perfect. Obviously, we want tip-top grades and we want tip-top work. But if you're really struggling and it's getting to 23:50, just put in something. If you put in nothing, you get nothing.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of support as well, there is also, if we just hop onto Moodle again. I'm loving this. So, under Assessment Centre, if you see here, I've got a forum here which is questions on assignment 1. If you click on this, it allows you to add a new discussion topic, read my little notes about what you should do before you post. But any questions that you have, I'll be more than happy to answer on the forum for you. I'm afraid I will not and neither will none of your other tutors be providing email support in terms of answering questions. If you have a question, please put it on that forum. Note that forum will close at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the 14th of December. Any questions posted after 5 o'clock will not be answered in time for your deadline, I'm afraid.
Okay. What about feedback?
Feedback.
When
Okay,
are
so
these
when
guys
do you
going?
get your grades back? When do you know how well you've done? So we commence in the 9th of January, which is our first week back after the summer holidays? Christmas holidays. Gosh, I'm already looking forward to summer. After the Christmas holidays, in the tutorials that week, you will get your mark back, and you will also get some very, very detailed feedback. Each of your assignments will be marked by your seminar tutor. So the person that you've seen week on week will mark your assignment, and they will also provide you with feedback on your assignment. It's really, really important that you understand what you've done well and where you need to improve as well.
How many sheets do they get?
Just one sheet.
Yeah. Okay, so one sheet for the group, so you need to figure out how you're going to disseminate that information to the rest of the group. So.
And please note, you will get 1 mark, and every single person within your group will receive that mark.
Only if your name is down on the spreadsheet. If your name isn't down on there, you get nothing.
0.
So make sure your details are correct on the Google Drive spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of covered that. Any other top tips? Well, this is funny.
Nope.
In our first video briefing session, we said, please use the work that you do in your seminars as a place to practice, as a place to, to kind of try out and test out a lot of this stuff that will go into the assignment. Now that these guys have done all their seminar work for term 1.
So on your blog now, you should have at least 5 blog posts, which are the activities that we did within your tutorials, either last week, or if you're in the groups that have the seminar before the lecture, you will have done it quite a number of weeks earlier, but you should have had a pro forma feedback sheet that your tutor went through with you in depth, and that should have provided you with some areas for improvement on your blog and specific things that we will be looking for within the assignment. So basically those blogs you've done already will not be marked. They are your chance to practice and get some feedback and understand where it is that you need to improve, and also what it is that you've been doing right as well. Because I have seen there's been some really, really good work done this term. So I'd like to congratulate you on that. I've seen some really good blog posts, and I've also seen some real improvements from that first week when we started blogging to last week when I sat with all my groups. So
excellent.
Well done.
These guys are going to be millionaires before the end of the year.
I hope
getting
so.
loads of traffic, bloggers as well. Pat says, will the video get deleted after it stops streaming?
No, we lucky people.
Video will be saved as a YouTube video, and we'll put the link up on Moodle.
Yeah, I'll pop the link up to it on Moodle, but yeah, it will be saved forever. Just another top tip from you?
Get someone else to read your work.
Yeah.
When you look at one document, you're typing away, you're working away, and so let's say that first blog post, and you think, right, this is great, and you improve it, then you put some more references in, then you check the grading criteria. Each time that you go back to that document, you're going to miss a spelling error because it looks normal. If you get somebody who's never seen that before to come along and read it for the very first time, they'll say, you've got a spelling error there. So make sure you get somebody who's never seen the work to read it before you submit.
I think if you're in any of my seminar groups, I have been hammering home attention to detail.
Last tip is something will always go wrong on the day that you try and submit. So maybe try and submit the day before the deadline, because Moodle might break down, the internet might collapse, somebody might break a leg.
There might be problems with electricity as there were yesterday.
Power outages, there might be floods, God knows, the apocalypse, there could be, I don't know, the metro might break down. Try and submit the day before, okay? And
a final top tip from you.
Final top tip, okay, so Harvard referencing is author and date in brackets, but remember, you're writing on a blog, you're writing for the web, so you can actually use an embedded hyperlink as your referencing instead of using author and date. So that saves you a little bit in your word count. Okay, so your embedded links might point directly to your reference list.
Which would be amazing. And I think that's it.
Very good.
And look at that. Bang on time as well.
Yeah. To exit your office.
So, yeah.
So, good first term?
Yeah, I've had a really, really good first term.
Yeah,
I've been
good.
really impressed with the levels of
I haven't
attendance.
enjoyed any of the sessions with you guys.
Yeah.
You're always quite enthusiastic, especially even on the Friday groups. I've seen loads of people recently.
Good. I'm impressed.
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it.
Any final questions before we go? We'll see.
Any requests?
Yeah, special request. A song? I've had no song request. Oh.
Anybody surprised at the winner of I'm a Celebrity?
I don't know. I didn't even watch it.
Give it time.
I've got better things to do with my time.
Yep.
That's it. Right, we're going to leave you. And good
Questions
luck.
on Moodle up until
Yeah.
the very last day, which Dee has specified.
Yes,
And then
5 o'clock on the Wednesday.
drinks when we finish next week. Brilliant.
Yep,
Give us an
organise it,
invite.
tell us where to be.
Yeah.
Right, bye-bye. We'll see you next year.
Oh, God, yeah. See you in January.
Bye.